The Four Caravans project actually started with this notion of just having a retail outlet and has grown so much more beyond that, something that would perpetuate the notion of advanced training. It's an idea that has responded to the changes that have come down from the Jordanian government with the fact that the Syrian refugees are now allowed to earn their livings in a much more free way. So as you cross the threshold to this new centre, there is carved out into the concrete the date that this centre opened and that it has been made with hope. You have a retail space which will allow any international visitor to have this as a visit on their schedule, bringing in new potential customers. Straight ahead of you as you walk across is a sand pit and children's play area. Against the wall of that is a Sheffield University hydroponics experiment. There's a soap and perfume laboratory which will be able to produce soap that will pass international standards of health and safety and remain an area where the advanced makers of soap and perfume can pass that training down to others who are less advanced. There's the best and most beautiful quality beauty salon, a place of safety and bonding. A children's creche. You cannot separate motherhood from the need of being a professional. There's also a kitchen there which allows for the sharing of recipes, the making of food together, but also something that is moving close to what I would describe as Uber Eats, which is that anybody comes to camp can, through an app, order foods that the kitchen will make, creating another economic centre of being able to earn a living. Most recently, we've moved to create trainings for jewellery, trying to find a way to bring opposites together, to come up with something unique. So before we thought that we might develop a jewellery project, I had come across an artist called Tariq, who has been in the camp since it was first created. He started his life as a construction worker in Syria, but for all sorts of reasons found himself carving pencils with a pin, and they are immensely beautiful. I managed through various contacts to come across Samuel, who's a Parisian designer of jewellery. He is the opposite of a Middle Eastern designer, and he graciously said that he would come over for 4 days and worked most closely with Tariq. So it makes sense at this time to create a brand, and once again one has to be careful that everything that we have learnt about sustainability and brand making and marketing isn't something we just inflict on a community who are going into this for the first time. On the one hand, Made in Za'atari is a wish to give the products an identity that are made in the camp, no matter how diverse they are, to give it some kind of stamp of quality so that it is respected by visitors from the outside. But also the biggest challenge, in a sense, is how this community is going to run itself. So for 7 years, these women have been utterly dependent, as is the case when one has fled from war and enters a camp. Those women are utterly capable of taking the keys, but they do need some help with things like financial literacy, management, leadership skills, and to try and find a way for, on their own terms, to value all the different skills that are needed to run a community like this. I want Za'atari to have something that is unique, that utterly surprises the world.